PHASA Conservation and Empowerment Fund is a PHASA leg of where we do our charity work. It's based on 4 pillars. The 4 pillars is conservation, research, empowerment, and social responsibility. We take it very seriously to do some work in our communities around us and not just do the hunting side. Wherever there is a need where we can contribute, this will be coming from our members through the fund. Some of the projects that we've done so far on the empowerment side would be the Makuya Game Reserve, where we got involved with them, helping them financially, management of their finances, anti-poaching, and so forth. The reserve is situated close to Kruger National Park in the northern section, close to Pafuri. Lady by the name Esther introduced us to it, and we decided to make that our flagship empowerment project, where we can put back into our black communities around Kruger National Park by helping them, advising them, and getting them to make a profit out of wildlife. At this stage, and it's a very well versed and a mutual agreement between us, where they donate hunts, we sell them on their behalf, where we do a 70-30% split with PHASA, as well as then with the community. 70% go back, which we still manage for the anti-poaching and so on. So we just don't hand the money over to them and let them do whatever they want with it. They also ask us to help us manage that. Then also on social responsibility, the Abraham Kriel's Children's Home in Nelstroom is very close to our heart. Our members donate meat, other food, clothing from international donors, and then also money. The past week we donated 50,000 Rand to them. When I asked Gerda van der Merwe, the CEO of the home, what she needs, and she said to me, Peter, we need food. So we decided to rather give them the money so that they can rather buy what they need. Just for interest's sake, this couple of years, the fund has contributed about 16 million to different worthy projects around our communities and around our areas. So it shows us that hunters do care. We're not just there to hunt, but we also give back to the communities. A lot of our members also dish out meat, food, meals to different communities, to schools, all kinds of places where there's a need. A lot of that goes unnoticed because the guys don't do it for the glory, they do it to help. So we try and get them to send us pictures and so forth of that. But guys, you won't believe all the stuff and the good work that they do in and around the communities in our areas. We just had a good online auction to try and get some extra funds, which we earned about a 500,000 Rand that will go back again in all kinds of community projects where we can help. We have the CRF, our Conservation and Research Fund, where government has a problem with funding, money is not lying around. So we decided as citizens and as hunters to start our own research through the Conservation and Research Fund, which will mainly be on small cats, leopards, and so forth. We partnered with TUT University to help us with that. We'll have a whole board of scientific researchers and so on to help us. We'll put out camera traps and so on to see what our populations are, because we want to do sustainable hunting in Africa and not utilize all the resources. So we want to make sure that if we do hunt animals, the numbers are in good amounts, so we do not hurt the populations at all. We also recently donated 20,000 Rand to 2 Green Alliance, TJ, Ron Thompson, for the wonderful work that they do all around the country and the rest of the world internationally, where they stand up for our hunting rights around the world and protect that as well. So we also like to get involved in that. Tonight we will have an auction here where a lot of the items will be for the fund. There's going to be hunts available with a lot of potential to make quite a good amount of money, hopefully. Hopefully the people will be bidding it up, where, again, like I said earlier, some of this money will go back, actually most of it will go back to the communities in certain areas where we'll have a split with them, and it'll be mainly buffalo hunts, etc., with some items also to be sold that can go back in our Conservation Research Fund, as well as the PHASA Empowerment Fund, to help more people out there.
Yeah, I mean, tourism is certainly a focus of the country. We want to grow our tourism numbers. We want to make sure that our market share that we have around the world becomes more and more. And we want to cut across all the sectors or different sub-economies of tourism. Now, the hunting environment is one of them. And as you guys have been deliberating over the last 2 days or so, it's important that A, you acknowledge that there is an issue. B, let's find solution then in terms of making sure that we address these issues and also understand the nuances behind them. You know, it's important to tell the story, the complete story, so that it's understood by those that are listening to it. The voices have to be listened from all corners. First of all, what we look at, A, is it legal? And if it's legal, how do we make sure that it's portrayed in the way that it is across the world? Also importantly, is about standards, code of ethics, consistency, and making sure that we root out those that actually don't comply to the highest standards out there. Because the reputational damage that the country suffers is much bigger, basically, than the reward of those staying in. And they are really looking forward to interacting with PHASA as South African tourism, understanding where the problems are at, and actually being part of the solution. You know, by engaging, you start to learn. We may not agree all the time, and that's okay. But as long as we work towards a common goal, what's good for the country, what's good for the economy, and what's good for employment as well.
Reputation is all important, of course. Trust and relationships are necessary to get your job done, whatever it might be. And PHASA has been a leading organization for conservation and wildlife management and fair chase hunting in Southern Africa for decades. I think 40 years. This might be the anniversary. But in any case, it's got its act together and it's proceeding full force ahead. Conservation Force, the organization I'm the president of, has been a supporter of PHASA for 22 years. Before that, when I headed Safari Club International, I was coming here. So a total of 28 years, I've been a partner of PHASA, and I'm glad to say I'm the recipient of a few PHASA awards, like the Utilization Award and some others. But and today, right now, we're trying to downlist the Cape Mountain zebra. I initially had gotten in elephant imports into the United States in litigation in Washington, D.C. So and today, for example, I also, Conservation Force, through me, made a donation to the leopard study that PHASA is conducting. It's so important, the sustainable use of that species from now and into the future. This is one of the strongholds of leopard in the world. And as it is lion and hippo and Cape buffalo and other species. It's also very important. Conservation Force, my organization, is about being a force for conservation, and the force are the sportsmen that pay the bills, that are the stewards of wildlife, wild places, and have relationships not only with the animals, but also with the people. We love the people, the rural people of Africa.
Being at this 2018 PHASA AGM, I think my 7th that I've come to in a row, there is no doubt I've never seen a better spirit. The vibe has been fantastic. It's almost been boring. There's nothing to argue about. They're getting on so well together. There's the new beginnings that has been the theme of their conference is real. It really was the perfect choice of wording. The issues that were problematic a year and 2 years ago, I think have actually faded into insignificance. The reputational damage issues and all that, people with integrity will always overcome that stuff. And this is a crowd with integrity. The professional hunting industry in South Africa has its challenges and its problems, but they have magnificent leadership, and they have, I don't know that I've ever met a man with more integrity than Dries van Coller, their current president, in my life. It's been a pleasure to work with them. I knew we take our decisions slowly. We think deeply as an organization. We really chew over things. And when we decided to walk the walk with these people some years ago, I know now in my heart of hearts it was absolutely the right choice we made. That we will in actual fact hold hands with people like this into our future, and we will secure the freedom to hunt, as PHASA is one to do, for our kids and our grandkids, with partners like PHASA has proven themselves to be this week.
As in most things, reputation is almost everything. PHASA has for years and years been the leader in professional hunting in Southern Africa. I deal with 37 associations worldwide, and PHASA is far and above the largest and one of the most developed associations that I work with. It's a real pleasure. I've been coming here for 13 years now. Tomorrow is American Thanksgiving, and it's 13 Thanksgivings that I've missed, but I have been able to spend them with people like PHASA. And as I say, reputation is everything. People have to be comfortable if they're going to fly across the ocean and hunt with somebody, and if they're the member of an association, particularly an association as strong as PHASA is, then it makes a big difference. It really adds to their comfort level.
Tongue in the cheek, just roll down that military piece you just told me.
We used to say uninformed and usually unreliable sources said today that we could neither confirm or deny any participation or lack of participation in any situation, real or imagined, which may or may not have occurred. Beyond this, we have no comment.